Hi, in this video, we are going to discuss about access specifiers in C++. These are the topics we are going to discuss in this video. What are access specifiers? Types of access specifier, example C++ programs for various types of access specifiers, finally conclusion. The access specifiers are main features of object-oriented programming uh, is called data hiding. So data hiding refers to the restricting access to data members of a class. So each class will have data member and member function. So these access specifier restricts access to both data member and member function. So this is also used to prevent other functions and the classes from tampering with the class data. Let's define the access specifier. The access specifier of C++ allows us to determine which class member are accessible to other classes and functions and which are not. So there are three types of access specifiers in C++, such as public, private, protected. So members declared under the public access specifier can be accessed from anywhere else in the program, including outside the class. Any members, such as variable and functions declared under the private access specifier, can be accessed only within the class itself. Protected access specifier, any variables or functions declared under the protected access specifier can be accessed within the class itself or from derived classes or from friend functions. Let's see an example. So this is a class student. This is the name of this class is student. This is the name of the access specifier public should be entered with the colon, under which we have declared two variables, namely name and age of type character and int, and one member function which is called display. So these three members can be accessed from outside the class with the help of object name of the class student. So this is what main function. So here we create a object for this class student, which is namely s1. So now we are initializing the two variables, namely name and age, with the help of this object s1. So s1 dot name we get the value from the user, like s1 dot age we'll get the value from the user. Now we are defining the um, member function outside the class with this syntax. Return type of the method and the name of the class, scope resolution operator, name of the function. This function doesn't have any arguments. So just we are displaying the values of these two variables, name and age. So we are not using any object name for accessing this value, since it is a part of the class. We are directly using the variable names. So let's run the code. So this is how public access specifier can be used. This is an example program, side program. Let's see a example for private access specifier. So we have defined a class called person, named the person. So this is a private access specifier, which is ended with a colon, under which we have declared two members such as name and age. So under the public access specifier, we have defined two methods or member functions, namely get data and display data. Since these two are private access declared under the private access specifier, can be accessed only from the class itself. Okay, we are accessing only within the class, so this can be defined only through the member function of this same class. Okay, so these are member function. Using this member function, we are defining or initializing the variables name and age. Same thing, we are displaying the same values using the another member function, namely named with the display. Since it is a private members, so can be accessed only through the within the class. So now let's define create an object for the person class. We are invoking it. So it will be in the get data will be initializing those variables. Display will be displaying the results. Let's run this code. So this is how private access specifiers can be used. Third type is protected access specifier. As we know that protected access specifier can be members declared under the protected access specifier can be accessed only by the derived classes. So here person is a base class, student is a derived class. So the student is deriving the properties from the person class. So now these name and age will be a private member of the student, So it will be accessible to the student class, derived class. So we are accessing these two variable through the member function of the derived class. Let's see, this is a definition of get data of the student class, that is the derived class. We are accessing directly without any object. Name and age we are initializing. Likewise, we are displaying the values of name and age with the help of the display member function. That is another function of the student. So this is how protected access specifier can be used. So if you want to restrict the variable or member functions can be accessible only to the derived classes, you can declare those variables and methods under the protected access specifier. Let's run the code. So this is how protected access specifier can be used. So as we know that we have seen this how to create syntax of the different access specifiers. So conclusion: if any sensitive information that when leaked or tampered with can cause trouble, always make sure that to set the access specifier as private, right? So all other classes and functions can access public elements. Private elements cannot be accessed outside the class in which they are declared. Private elements can be accessed outside the class in which they are declared only when the class is friend function or friend class of the class. Protected elements can be accessed by derived classes. They are almost similar to the private access specifier. If you do not mention any access specifier for the member inside the class, then by default the access specifier in C++ for the members will be private. Finally, all functions are accessible to the friend function of the class. So this table depicts you the scope of different access specifiers. Variables or methods are declared under this different access specifier. If it is a public modifier, the same class member can access, outside the class can access, derived class also can access. If it is a private modifier, a variable methods declared under the private modifier, same class can only access, outside the class cannot be accessed, derived class cannot access. If it is a protected member, same class can access, outside the class cannot be accessed, but derived class can access. So thank you.